So here's a new field, one I haven't hunted in a lot of years. And I really never did hunt much, but I was here trapping season and found some flakes down here in the corner. And I just walked down through here 20 yards and there's a first piece of debitage. So there's something. I mean, it all adds up. If I wouldn't find a flake at all, it'd be hard for me to look. But that little bitty pink flake right there is enough to make me feel like it's worth looking at. I think I found one whole point once up here again. I was trapping one year. But I'm going to spend an hour or so looking this one over. It's I have mounds right behind me. The dirt's never going to be turned on, at least not this year. This dirt isn't turned very deep. Just basically drilled. But we're going to look. Because that's the only way you find stuff, is to look. It's Hickbilly Outdoors. D.W. Verts. Stay tuned. Maybe we'll find something. Not a lot going for this place yet. I did start finding a few little napped on pieces. Found this big old thing just now. It's big old spent core, or they tried to get something off of it. Not as pretty as other places I got, but you just never know. We're going to keep on looking. Not a lot of debitage. The pieces I found have been like that just through here. They're mostly core type stuff. This used to be a mound, I understand. This one's been farmed down. There's a couple more over across the way over there I've talked about before. This used to be one too. It's kind of higher here, but like I said, it's been knocked down over the years with farming practices. So that you would think if there was stuff here, it'd been scattered out, but not a very much depth to this dirt here to be looking at. So we're going to keep on trying for a little bit. Another core. I'm really walking fast. There's just not a lot of stuff to look at. So I've been kind of going along pretty quick, actually, probably 5-6 times faster than I usually go. I don't know what else to do except you got to cover some territory when it's like this. And there we go. There's a tool. There's a broken piece right there too. There's something. Oh, look at that. Big ol' adze. Very nice flaking on it. Well, that was worth it. So I've got a field here that doesn't have much debitage, a few broken cores, and I find a tool like that. So what do you say? You just got to look. You got to keep on covering the ground. That's a nice one too. I mean, big old bullnose adze. So there you go. So obviously we're going to keep on keeping on for just a little bit. Big old piece of Burlington chert right there. A lot of our points and pieces around here from Burlington chert. So, well, that's obviously was a bonus. Another big old pretty blue core. Look at that. Oh, how they got points off that stuff. When you find one, they're not very well made. It's really hard rock, but cool. I find a lot of Adinas made out of that blue quartz looking stuff. There is no debitage to see at all right now. Haven't found another core. Haven't found a rock to speak of. There's a little junk rock, just a piece of clay rock, nothing. I'm just zigzagging. hoping to stumble into something. And not much to talk about because there ain't much happening. Well, I'm 3/4 the way back to the truck or better. And I am getting into some rock and some minor flakes. I just think the thing needs to be tilled deeper. I just found this one on top. I thought it looks really pretty. Pick it up. I'm finding several like that, very finely made flakes. Really nice made. But it's not dug deep enough to be pulling stuff up. It is what it is. You get to glomming over stuff and you make mistakes. I said, there's head-on rock almost everywhere I'm looking all of a sudden, so maybe. I don't think it's going to be a spectacular deal in any stretch of the imagination. But you just never know. You got to look at all of it. So I'm going to make the highest spot. I just come off kind of highest spot. I don't know where the mound actually was. It was here. That all ties into that mound system over there though. So I'm going to walk 45, 50 yards over there and make a circle back to the truck instead of going back early. Because I am seeing stuff. It just ain't pulling my chain very hard. Ooh. Boy, look at that big old core. I don't think it could ever be called a tool. Man, that sucker is sharp. Edges are nasty. Big old thing too. Maybe a little hammerstone. I'm seeing several things all of a sudden right here. I gotta make a little circle around. I walked 50 yards just now without even finding a rock. Another real sharp core. I mean, sharp. There's a little flake right there. Very finely made. And the point behind a little flake like that is, that was a flake that was taken off at the very end of the process and making a point. That isn't building one. That was the very last little, I mean, that thing is razor sharp and very fine. That was the end product. It was right down to the very end of it right there. So that's the point behind some of them nice flakes. There's a flake. Well, all of a sudden I'm into stuff again. What's the deal? I did a 50-yard piece there with nothing. Look at that pretty stuff. Where that's the beginning of the process. Got that big bulb on the end where they knocked it off, reducing. So, anyway, that was kind of fire rock. Been around fire one time or another, all pink and red. Another piece right there just like it, so. Oh well. So that was probably a 150-yard circle. Again, I found a number of really fine flakes, and these are the kind of flakes they're using in the final processes of making a pointer or tool. These are not reduction, early stage pieces. That is a very, very, very finely made piece. Another flake right down there. It's kind of amazing to me that I 150, 175-yard circle, I'd go maybe 50 yards, not find even a rock. Then you'd find a pocket of stuff, and everything is, it's just amazing after all these years it would even look like that. So I'm gonna stick with my game plan. I'm going to take the truck up to the base of the hill, the base of the bluff. I'm heading up there next. Just driving along to my next spot and looked out here in the field and found me a gift. I like gifts. Gifts are great. First shed of this year, or that's from this year, so that's fresh. Not to mention I saved a landowner a tractor tire maybe, because those things will sure put a hole in one. First one this season. I like gifts. I can't believe I didn't see that when I drove in. So we moved up here closer to the base of the hill. Like I said, up there was the best 3 acres I've ever point hunted in my life. 3 years I took 1,000 pieces off that thing. That makes no difference here at all because we're not up there. But there's some debitage right there right off the bat though, so maybe it'd be better. Who knows? Part of the fun of it, the wonderment. You just gotta hoof some miles sometimes. I think of all the good places I found over the years. Once in a while I got a little bit lucky. But most of the time it was just hoofing a lot of miles. And see, here's a rock that don't belong in this field at all. This rock does not match this field. Not really a hammerstone, but it could have been. There's just no reason for that rock to be here. So I see several pieces, several flakes, so maybe we're a little closer. I hear stories about how great some of these fields were back in those days, and people think they're hunted out, which probably not. They just quit turning the dirt over in them, scratching the surface, so to speak, and it ain't good for finding artifacts. Still fun though. Nice flake, real nice flake right there. Dandy flake. I'm gonna go over here at the base of this hill just because, again, that little field on top, that sucker there, was just tremendous magic for a few years. And it would be just pretty cool to get to the base of that hill and find stuff. I don't know, that really makes no sense if that would happen. Except there's stuff all down through here. Everything I'm finding has been whacked on. Yeah, up there's the magic spot. My gosh. 1,000 or so pieces in what, 3.5 years time. Okay, so I'm directly below the base of that hill, my magic field, and I start finding broken in there off an adze or some sort of celt. Broken end of it, ugly. Several pieces right here, just nothing major. That'd just be too cool to come over here and find stuff just below that hill. That'd just be, I'd have to rethink a few things on that. There's definitely more stuff right here though at the base of the hill. Nothing great, but there's more stuff. Core. So right here at the base of this hill is definitely a load of debitage. Not really much for flakes, but chunks, chips, pieces, cores. Piles of it just right through here. Interesting. I mean just piles. You say, well, it washed down over that hill over the years. I don't hardly see that. I mean, yeah, I guess it's potential a rock could wash down that hill, but not in piles of stuff like this, and no point. So I don't know. Said it's one of those things that over thousands of years, who knows? But there's more stuff in this quarter acre I'm standing on right now. There's been this whole field I've been in. So, and right below my super magic field has to mean something. Has to mean something. A lot of stuff to look at through here. There we go. There we go. There's one. Finally. Look at that. It's all there. Yeah, maybe a little damage to the tip, not much. There we go. There's one. 100 yards below where I used to find them all the time a few years back. Look at that. Nicely made point. Cool. Well, I shut the camera off. Took 2 steps and thought, well, that looks like something. So I get on my knees to pull it out, and it really ain't nothing except a flake. And I find this one here, right here next to it. I can't believe I didn't see it first. Broken, preformed blade. Heavy fireworked. Cool. Better and better. So that's pretty interesting, that 30 or 40 yard stretch at the base of that hill. Just the point there below where I used to find all my good stuff. One of my best fields ever. Maybe my best field ever. That was loaded up, and I'm not hardly finding anything now. I've got to the holler past it, and that's just, it ended. So I'm still making this circle around back of the truck, and I come upon this one. I've just looked at 1,000 pieces that have been hit on in one fashion or the other, and it feels like it's almost like a quarry situation. I mean, a bunch of big old chunks and spalls and nothing really very pretty. Although there's a little flake right there, a little bit bigger flake, and we got this broken bad. It's an ugly rock to start with. Look at that. Almost limestone. Bull-nosed adze again. Man, that thing didn't survive very much. Whacking, it got beat all to heck. Look at that. Ugly. Isn't that cool? Well, I'm just about done. A little bit done in. A little bit tired. I probably walked, I don't know, 3/4 of a mile total. Not a bad hunt. I mean, you're not going to hear words from me like epic, I don't know, point of the year, I don't know. I find enough stuff sometimes, but very few days with me are G10 days, that's for dang sure. Once in a while, I get something extra special. I'm going to head back to the truck. Thanks for watching, y'all. I got 140 yards. Maybe I'll find something else. If I do, I'll turn the camera on. But I'm about done in. Appreciate y'all watching. If you like this stuff, subscribe. Tell people. It's just me being me. Nothing special. Nothing fancy. Nothing fantastic. I try to do some teaching. I'm trying to figure out some ways to teach people things. where I can back it up with some facts, maybe show some stuff. I'd love to do a dig. I've got some really cool places that need to be dug. On top of that hill over there. I don't know. I think digging up there would be pretty cool because there was a lot of stuff up there a few years ago. Look at that big old core right there. We'll see. Trying to do some new things, try to keep it exciting for y'all. Thanks for watching. I'm Dale Verts. God bless. We'll talk to you next time.